Bridge.
Alright, captains, we are back on the bridge, and today, yes, we are gonna go over my favorite moments so far in Star Trek Picard Season 3, the final season. But captains, before we do so, do us a favor, like the video, also subscribe here to the YouTube bridge, as we're always on the lookout for like-minded captains where we can share our passion, our love that we have for things Star Trek. With that said, here we go. Now, captains, as of this video, episode 2 has already aired. And so far, we've had the first episode, which was The Next Generation, and the second one named Disengage. I've done reviews on them already, and so far, it's hard to really complain. So much so that I gave the first episode a 9.99. I mean, and I think I'm just being really, really picky. But even at that point, that might even turn and change into a 10, because that's how strong so far, at least for me, captains, keep this in mind, for me, how the episodes are going so far. Now, one thing I thought I would do was share the moments that I have actually really connected with in the series so far. Now, I just thought of this, of course, just right now. I might do this as a one-off, like when one episode airs, do the favorite moment from there, or maybe do a couple just so that we can maybe combine them together. But since we have 2 episodes so far released, we're going to do 2 favorite moments so far. So on screen. Yes, so this first moment, and what we're going to do here is actually play the video in its entirety. Okay, Captain, so that we can actually hopefully go over it and see it. Now, if it gets copyrighted, I will just delete the portion that quote unquote gets copyrighted. But after the video plays, we're going to actually go over it frame by frame or whatever, moment by moment within that video. So again, I will just let it play, let the moment go. If it's copyrighted, I will just take it out there and then let the pieces that are allowed to stay there, because you can search these moments actually by typing them on YouTube, which we're on YouTube right now. So we're going to do that. We'll play them. There's going to be a bit of a pause before and then after, and then we'll play it. So this first one here is the scene where Jean-Luc Picard, or Admiral Picard, and Captain Riker is heading to Starbase in episode 1. And this one is when they're being welcomed to the Titan. So here we go, captains, we're gonna play it, and I will see you on the other side of it. So there is the first one. Again, there's a little bit of pause before and after, just because in case I need to snip this in case. But if you ever want to see this one, all I typed in was Star Trek Picard seeing the Titan, and then a bunch of clips came up. So there's that. Now, if in case you captains want to see this, again, like I said, just go ahead, type that on YouTube. But I did want to break this down a little bit more as one of my favorite moments in this. There's a lot of moments, but this one really stood out for a lot of reasons here. So first one up, I'll go back to the beginning here. There you go. So we see, of course, Earth, but what really stood out to me here was the starbase itself. But also, captains, you know, I also cover here on the channel Star Trek Online content. And this ship right here is the Gagarin, which came from Star Trek Online. And this is why I'm being more getting into reviewing Star Trek stuff, because the stuff that I already review, stuff I make content for, is coming to screen, coming to real canon. And I lost my ever-loving mind, of course, when these ships came to Star Trek as canon ships here in Star Trek Season 2. But now, of course, they're re-showing them here in this first episode. Now, this ship, I believe at the top there, I believe that is a Sovereign. From the nacelles, it looks quite like it. And that other ship there, I can't quite make there in the middle here, even when it's moving here. Put the volume down just in case. It's hard. I'm not sure if that's moving. That could be an inquiry. I don't know. It's a very odd looking shape. But also the other thing here is you have this starbase. Now we do have the starbase in Star Trek Online without these additional pods you see outside here on the exterior. And of course, speaking of the ship, there's another ship over there. That's the Sutherland. And yes, we do have that in Star Trek Online. Now there's another ship up there above one of the pods there. It's hard to kind of make that out as well, what that is, because it's just how quickly it sort of moves there. But regardless, I love this scene. This just, again, pays so much homage to not only the ships that came from Star Trek Online, but just the whole scene itself, especially here with Picard and Riker. This scene made me laugh. I love the genuine back and forth between Picard and Riker. And when Riker said, "Show me that sour face," and Picard gave him that little look, he said, "There it is." I just smiled. There it is. There's the look. There's the look. And of course, Riker's, and there it is. It's just friendly back and forth between them. It just gave me the feels. Now, last year, I bring this up because this is one of the reasons why this is my favorite scene. We had Bill Krause here on the bridge. We did an interview with him. I will link that actually at the end of the video there. It's a 4-hour discussion of ships, his ships. And of course, one of his ships made it into Star Trek Picard. Not only did it make it into Star Trek Picard, it's the hero ship of Star Trek Picard Season 3. When they introduced this, the look that Riker gave, the look that Picard gave, that's the one, there it is. It was just so wholesome. He said, "Hello, beautiful." The respect they're giving the ships is just absolutely awesome. And I've always mentioned that my love for Star Trek always, first and foremost, starts with the ships and then characters and then the story. And I could not be more happier for Mr. Bill Krause for having his ship. The original ship was the Shangri-La, but they used it here and the Titan. And of course, again, the look on Will's face, the look. Look at that. Look how he's genuine. You can see how happy he is. And it's a respect to the ships that make Star Trek. And of course, Picard's reaction also was good. He just was taken back from the beauty of what is the Titan. This scene had a lot going on for it. It really did have a lot going on for it. But here she is. They did change a couple things from the original design. Namely, one of my favorites of his Shangri-La was the front portion here of the saucer. It was supposed to have like 3 torpedo launchers. And of course, they changed the nacelles on this. But also in this scene, you can see there at the bottom left corner there. I actually didn't see that till now. Over here, that's a nacelle. I think that is the Gagarin's nacelle. But the ship right beside it over here, behind this structure, that is another Sutherland. That's another Sutherland there. But this scene, the music, the way they introduce, and then of course here, that ship there is the Reliant. Had a little shuttle over there, fly by. But then of course now you see this thing in all its glory. I think they also changed the impulse engines, I believe. And the only thing I wish is they would have changed the engines, I said this before, to a different looking engine, and not, because you have the same nacelles here, or engine, nacelle on even the shuttle itself. Like it doesn't make it unique in my opinion. And of course it was also revealed to us that the Titan is an exploratory vessel. To me, any ship that comes out is always tactical, but really it's an exploratory vessel. And I really like that, because when we were talking with Bill, that was the theme of all of his ships that he made. Exploratory, even one ships that I thought was tactical, and I was like, nope, exploratory vessels. So I'm glad they kind of kept that sort of essence of how he built these ships in the first place, whether it be purposefully and or by happy accident. I like to think purposefully. But yes, that ship again here is a Reliant. Again, something that you can see and actually fly in Star Trek Online. So again, the respect, the beauty shot here for that, it's just, I just could not help but smile. And the music, you know, that was accompanied by this, you just can't help but not love this. So this was my favorite moment here from episode 1, The Next Generation. And then of course we're not going to go over the whole thing here because that's this was the moment. This here, the showing of the hero ship itself was just beautifully done and couldn't have been done any better in my opinion. So now the next one, and again, captains, what we're going to do, like I did with the first clip, is we're going to play it. And then if I have to, of course, cut it out, it'll be cut out. But again, we'll let you know what I did to type to get that in there. So I will sort of have a little pause before and after. But then like we did with this clip, we're going to go over it over and over again for frame by frame, I should say, so that we can have a discussion on that. So the second clip is here. Now, this scene here was from Disengage, the second episode, like I said. And this moment here gave me goosebumps. I don't know why, but nothing was said. And I said this in my review, nothing was said. But this definitely was the moment where I went and got the feels. So here we go. We're going to play it here. And then I will see you on the other side of this clip, captains.
There's been a security breach on Deck 12 at the brig.
Find him.
She has the one here. Okay, there's a lot to digest in that scene, but it's so worth it. Now, we'll go over the first moment, because what I love about this scene, captains, was there was no words even said or mentioned between Picard and Beverly. So you see here first when Will, and this scene, if you want to watch this, captains, on YouTube, all you got to do is type Jack Crusher, father revealed, Picards, son, season 3, disengage, and then it'll come up here, and a lot of people put clips up there. And like I said, if I have to copy, I have to take this out, the actual portion that was played, I will do so, but then you can actually just search that up on the net. But I wanted to kind of go over that because this had so much going on. One, you have the reuniting of Riker and Beverly, and beforehand she was actually in med bay before this scene and was actually out, but Riker revived her to get her on to the bridge, and of course to do the reveal. Him walking Beverly, just her sort of just kind of assessing this, she didn't say a word. She did not say a word in this, and it just said volumes, just volumes. And then of course you had Picard see them, and just the look between the two. You can see Bev trying to just kind of gain her bearings there, but she was already becoming emotional. And this is why it was mentioned in episode 1 that they haven't seen each other in 20 years. The plot is that Beverly has Picard's son. Now, this is as this video. If this decides to change, then whatever have you, that's fine. The moment though is where the feels came in, and just nothing. And she's bowing her head. Picard again doesn't say anything, and then when second look, just when she starts to cry, and just that's it. The confirmation: he's your son. He's your son. And then he just does the whole. He knew. He just needed a little confirmation, like 100%. And what better timing? And then of course you have the whole Picard locking down the whole thing. I loved it. And everyone just following his orders, of course, because he took over as Admiral. And then I will say, this is where I started to get a little with Liam having a little bit more, becoming more likable to me, is he started to actually go with it. In fairness, he said anything that happens here after, it's on you. But he even got the pat from Sir Pat. See what I did that? Did there. And I thought it was awesome moment. And of course, him saying he's his son. Jack hears it, of course. The realization was there. I still didn't explain his accent, but whatever. And then you have him actually also giving orders, like, so reluctantly, like, dang it, fine. And it was really good. I quite love this moment. Now, bonus moment in this scene, 2 bonus moments, okay? Crazy Captain Psycho lady and her laugh when she said follow him, that's just creepy. But of course, when again, see, there you go, that look again between the two, just so good. And then of course you have Captain or Admiral Picard say engage, and you actually see this is the first time we see the Titan actually in action. So the photon torpedoes didn't sound like photon torpedoes. It almost sounded like phaser beam arrays to me. I've listened to it a couple times. Oh, maybe not a couple times, but it really sounds like phaser fire weaponry or weapons. But whatever, they're going to say it's new. I'm fine with it. And again, of course, I think we can see that the change that they did there, the impulse engines they have there is different now on the Titan from the original Shangri-La. Again, huge shout out to Bill Krause. I cannot wait. Captains, also, we're going to have him back here on the bridge after season 3 is done. So you know we're going to talk about more ships, so look out for that, Captains. And the Shrike still hasn't really done anything other than fire the 3 photon torpedoes itself. Now, the thing that it reveals in this scene is the Shrike also has that forming shield around it. You can tell by kind of the energy sort of dispersing around the area of the photons hit. Of course, then we see the Titan kind of fly up. And then, of course, her she's scary. She's scary. And then it just flies off there. I said this before, and I'll say it again. That deflector on the Shrike looks like the Enterprise D's deflector. I really want to know where they got the inspiration for this deflector on the ship, because I feel like it would have looked better without it, in my opinion. But it's there. There's nothing we can do about it other than wait for the design sort of influence, that if that deflector had any influence on being on the Shrike, and if it's even an Easter egg, I don't know. If you captains know, let it know in the comments below. So there you go, Captains. I thought it would be fun just to give my favorite moments of each episode so far. And going forward, I might do one per episode. I might do every 2 episodes. We'll see. I just can't get enough of these moments. I've been watching these scenes over and over, to be honest with you. So there you go. Again, this season is turning out to be just so great, even though 2 episodes so far, but it's feeling like I'm home. That's the feeling I get when I'm watching this. I feel like I'm home. I feel like a warm hug from the crew that I grew up in. And also the second episode was when, another honorable mention, of course, when WORF was revealed. His entrance was good too, but it just, the moment between Picard and Beverly, that just no word said. The music did a lot to add to it too as well, I feel. So I think it's a lot of combinations of the actors, my nostalgia. Hey, if this is nostalgia talking to me, I'm okay with it. I really am okay with it. So, and just the music and just how they are delivering it. And whether it still doesn't feel too forced to me, in my opinion. I was surprised that the reveal was quick for Jack's son, or for Picard's son being Jack, but it is what it is. And now we have 8 episodes left to see what is going to unfold here. And Captains, know that we're always going to give our reviews for it, because again, it's just another way of us to share our love for Star Trek. So Captains, like the video, comment below. Let us know what moments you liked from the first and second episode. And of course, subscribe here to the YouTube Bridge, and we will leave it on this note.
Live long and prosper.